Welcome to my programme from Napoleonic Fort, cooking for soldiers. As you can see, I've got some beautiful steeped fruit, some sugar and an egg. That's a hen's egg. You could use any kind of egg. I'm using a hen's egg because it's just much easier. And I've got some butter, but if you can't get butter, lard is just as good, but butter just gives it a lovely rich creamy taste, and the soldiers really like that. So I've got my bag of flour. I'm hoping it doesn't have any extras in it, but if you do, then just go with it because they just add a bit of extra protein. And I'm just scooping it in with my hands. I'm just really rustic and just getting my hands in really and pushing it in, which is fine because you don't need to measure in our period. It's not a problem. And I'm just using my hands to get the butter or lard and putting it into the bowl, just in a rustic way. It's just the way I am. I just love to just put it in, and little gems of butter going into this beautiful flour. So I'm just going to rub this in now, and I'm using my hands, which is just brilliant because I don't need any instruments. I don't need any spoons or spatulas, or I don't need any special forks or cutlery. I'm just using my hands, which is fantastic. So I'm going to do this, and you can have a look around my pantry. Okay, I've now rubbed, using my hands, I've rubbed my flour and fat together, and now I'm going to add the sugar. Now I'm using this brown coloured sugar, sweet, delicious granules of sweetie goodness. Just going to tip them in like that, all in one go, because I'm just like that. I just like to just rough it really. I don't have to use any instruments for this either. I'm just rubbing it with my hands. And look, just swirl it around the bowl. It's just so easy. You just absolutely love to do this at home. There, so it doesn't matter if you're a cook in a big house or if you just have a hovel. You can make this easily with ingredients that you can find around your house. Fruits. I always like to keep my steeped fruits always in my cupboard, but I've just found these around about the place. Just on the floor, in some of the shops that I've been into, and it's amazing how many you can get together when you're just looking around. So here they are. I'm just going to tip them all in one go, and again, you don't need to use a spoon, you don't need to have any extra washing up, you can just tip it in. Brilliant. And again, just rub it in. Beautiful granules are being coated with that sweet, delicious, granularly mixture of butter or fat and flour, or any other kind of staple. You could make this with rice, I should think, and just mix it round so that you've got it mixed up like that. And then I'm just going to make a hole in the middle, just really roughly. It's just so easy to make just a rough hole. And then I'm using this hen's egg. Now I said if I'm using a hen's egg, you could use a duck's egg, you could use a quail's egg. You probably need to use more than one. And some milk. Now I'm using cow's milk, but you could use any kind of milk. Well, there's some milks you wouldn't use, but I'm using cow's milk because it's very easy. It's not heated up, it's not very good if you're pregnant, but I'm just mixing it in. See, it's just, I'm using a spoon now, and the only reason I'm doing that is because I don't really want to get my hands too sticky. So here you are, beautiful, beautiful, sticky, delicious, mulching almost mixture. And what I've done is I'll put that to one side, because I've got one here that I made earlier, and you can see where the flour is raising itself because it has a little bit of baking powder in it, which is giving it a lovely soft rising texture already. Now I'm going to cook this on an open fire, which I prefer to an indoor oven, and obviously when you're cooking for Napoleonic soldiers, they often didn't really have an indoor cooker, so I'm using a fire. Now I'm going to put this bit of fat, if you just come over with me to the fire, into the pan, and look at the steam coming off that, and it's already caramelising and making a beautiful, beautiful golden colour. Probably a bit too hot, but we don't mind about that because the soldiers won't really mind. They just want to come back, have a cup of tea and a delicious dollop of sultanery, raisiny, sugary goodness. And then I'm just going to drop them in one at a time and give them a little squash with my hand. I like to do that myself because it just gives them a more even texture and a more even size. And they'll cook very beautifully in this golden butter. And they probably take about 8 to 10 minutes, or the time it will take you to perhaps go and put a pretty ribbon around your hair, so that when the soldiers come back, they've not only got something delicious to eat, but they can look at you and exclaim that you are a domestic goddess. So I'm going to cook these now, and you can come back when they're ready. Okay, I've cooked these, as you know, on an open fire, but I would recommend that you don't put them into the middle of the pan, because you can see that they burn and they've gone a bit black, but I don't think people mind that because they like the rustic look. So if you have a look here, put them around the edge of the pan, and they're not doing so fiercely. And the other thing you can do before you serve these is just scrape a bit of nutmeg over the top. Nutmeg is a lovely jewel of the gem, and you can just scrape a bit over the top and they will love it. And that's it. I'll show you in a moment some of the soldiers eating.